Personally, I think that there are realities that may give the sport a black eye. A lot of times people talk about moving a lot of weight. Hey man, I'm strong. I can move weight. As a bodybuilder though, I've never been a power lifter or I've never been a weight lifter. Technically, my mind is moving the weight more than my body. If there are things that we can say that we regret, I'm sure there's probably millions of things I could say that I've regretted. I wouldn't just say youngsters, but like even the young at heart, technically.
Right.
Anybody I will say that's in the effort to aspire to see themselves grow in the direction that they want to go. And I think that is one of those examples that I think all of us can apply to.
Hello, my name is Saurabh and I have the legend from the field of bodybuilding, Mr. Kai Greene with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Welcome to India.
Oh,
and
thank
how are you
you.
doing?
I'm great. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here in honor of the IHFF and the Shuru Classic and the Fitness Expo that we have going on this weekend. Tremendous opportunity to represent this platform and to be an ambassador for fitness and health here over in India today.
Right, so what prompted you to get into the field of bodybuilding at the first place, and how's been your journey?
So, you know what, in the very beginning,
Right.
man, I just wanted to be able to do something. I wanted to be able to do something that made me feel good, you know? And when I did that thing, I felt like it put me in power. It put me in touch with my own ability to decide to do what is going to become the say or the nay of my life. I believe that living is a gift. It's an opportunity. It is an ultimate opportunity. And I believe that when I began my fitness journey, one of the things that was the biggest benefit to me with the beginning of that fitness journey was, in so doing, I discovered the power that I had available to me by just being able to wake up in the morning and to be able to decide what I'm going to do with the use of this miracle called my life.
Right. So, in recent years, bodybuilding has gained worldwide popularity. What are the changes that you've observed over the years, and how does one keep adapting to these changes?
Oh, well, I think the sport is evolving. The sport has continued to evolve since the beginning. Just like with the organization, the IHFF and the Shuru Classic, we've gotten a chance to start in one place, and through the setting of other goals, we've been able to grow. The organization has grown by leaps and bounds since my involvement with the organization so many years ago, more than a decade, and it just continues to grow. The changes are very positive. Why? Because it becomes a platform to showcase for other athletes to come to stand on that platform, to see some of their vision of personal growth and development realized, while at the same time sending a message out to the world that they're here, you know, and that they are capable and ready to grow to the next stage of their own development. The sport matures, so it evolves, and it has done so very, very well. What happens is, even with the advent of technology, Instagram, social media, you know, the word gets around faster. And with that, we're able to see the influence and see how this sport has been influenced through that rapid expansion of growth and development. The IHFF has actually grown tremendously, and so has the Shuru Classic. It started out in a very humble beginning more than a decade ago, and today it's fastly becoming one of the biggest fitness expos in the entire world. So we're in a very, very good place, and I'm happy to be an ambassador.
One major concern around the sport has been the use of anabolic steroids. How do you look at that issue?
Personally, I think that there are realities that may give the sport a black eye, but those are realities that don't need to be in the forefront of the experience. I think that one of the things that are very important is to recognize what the root of this opportunity and experience is. And I talk about, when talking about that, the ability to decide what I'm going to do with my life, what I'm going to do with my potential, and how will I see my larger vision of personal growth and development realized. At the root of this experience of our sport competitive bodybuilding is self-mastery, self-development. That's what it means. And it's at its truest core. That's what it's about. It's about actually identifying some set goals, to target them, break them down into smaller, more easily attainable goals, and through the accomplishment and achievement of those smaller goals, you can actually see how even something a feat thought to be impossible can become a very doable and realistic thing. I tell you, my thoughts, I've gotten a chance to see them become things, and no truer words have been spoken. And I believe it's all credited through this process that I've come to know and accept as my sport of choice, bodybuilding.
You've often talked about mind-muscle connection as a training technique. Could you elaborate a bit on that, and how is it possible to achieve that?
So a lot of times people talk about moving a lot of weight. Hey man, I'm strong. I can move weight. And as a bodybuilder though, I've never been a power lifter, or I've never been a weight lifter. In other words, I've never identified myself as a person that was just trying to move weight for the sake of moving the weight. But because I was a bodybuilder, and because I am still a bodybuilder, and I'm seeking out the maximum development of my physique, then what happens is it makes me want to focus more on how I move that weight. You get me? It's through that I've learned to discover that technically my mind is moving the weight more than my body. And it's because of the choices that I'm making with my mind that I spend hours and hours and hours thinking and doing, moving that weight in the very specific ways that allow me to experience development, activation, and hypertrophy on those muscles that I say that I want to train.
Right. You have won a number of titles over the years, like the Arnold Classic, for instance. Is there any title you hold closer to your heart?
Well, you know what? Every competitive experience is an opportunity to grow. Back in the States, we had an educational system. And in the basic educational system, you have first grade, then you got second grade after that, you got third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade to follow. Same thing happens, I believe, in the continuum of how I see my career, or how I saw my career develop as an athlete. So what happens is there may be some titles, in fact, that might have gotten a lot more press attention, and they might have, for whatever reason or another, might appear to be something more noteworthy in the spotlight. But in truth, every step is a stepping stone to the next more progressive realization of the goals that were important to me. So each and every show, each and every competition, each and every challenge was an opportunity to learn and discover more things about myself in an effort to become better, to reach higher, and to go further in the direction that I wanted to go most.
If I were to ask you one thing which you like the most about your profession, and one thing I dare say you don't like it, or maybe even hate it.
Oh, you know what? There may be a lot of things. You can write out a list for things that are uncomfortable. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. Because we're talking about the positive, progressive realization of a worthy goal, truth is, more than focusing on the negative, I gotta look at the positive,
Right.
And if ultimately I have been able to see my career grow from humble beginnings. In the beginning, you work out, you live and operate in obscurity, and certainly at those times when you are crawling through those earlier experiences in my career, I certainly wasn't awarded an opportunity like I have right now with you, and sitting in front of these cameras and being able to recount my experience. You get me? In the evolution of my growth. So I'm saying this to say to you that, yeah, more than the negatives, I got to look at the positives, because technically it is the pursuit of developing those positives that have allowed me to grow and reach the heights that I've aspired to reach, and allows me to continue to work in the direction that I want to go today in my career. So I believe that a lot of times, if we were ever asked if there are things that we can say that we regret, I'm sure there's probably millions of things I could say that I've regretted. But I will also say with more certainty that each one of those things have become opportunities for me to discover what not to do, you know. And with those experiences, they've also allowed me to see some of the things that I needed to do to become successful in the future. So every failure actually becomes an opportunity to kind of figure out a better way, when applied, to get those questions answered right. You get what I'm saying? So the failures become the stepping stones, you know, to build future success. And I believe that's kind of where we're at right now. Yes, there probably are a lot of things that I'd probably say that, you know, if I thought about it, would be worthy of regretting. But if ultimately I am still pushing in the direction that I want to go most, and I'm seeing those efforts rewarded with opportunities like being able to sit here with you today and represent the IHFF and the Cheru Classic and be a part of such a wonderful opportunity with the Fitness Expo that we have growing and going this weekend, I think it's proof positive that we're doing something really good, and we need to be aiming continually for the positive.
You've been coming to India for a number of years now. How do you see the future of bodybuilding as a sport in India?
Oh, I think we're still just scratching the surface. The potential is it's limitless. It's limitless. And technically, as we see with the IHFF and the Cheru Classic and this Fitness Expo that we're actually participating in this weekend, we're able to see the development of industry. We're able to see the development of business. We're able to see the development of the athletes and the athletics. And it's just getting started. So yeah, revenue streams are growing. The streams of interest in the people will continue to grow. Awareness of the lifestyle and commitment to physical fitness and the opportunities that are yet to be realized there are still growing. It's a limitless potential with limitless possibilities, and we're really just getting started.
Right. Any message you would like to give to youngsters?
To
youngsters.
Oh, to youngsters. Oh man. Well, you know what? I wouldn't just say youngsters, but like even the young at heart, technically.
Right.
Anybody, I will say, that's in the effort to aspire to see themselves grow in the direction that they want to go. And I think that is one of those examples that I think all of us can apply to, you know, or applies to all of us, you know. You show me what man or woman is not sitting in a place in the current that has identified that there's some place that they'd like to be, something that they'd like to see grown, developed, and realized in their life, you know. I will say that if you are that person, then you are the young person that I'd be talking to right now, whether you are young in years or not. Truth is, everybody can do better. Right. You get me? And one of the beautiful things about this fitness experience, this fitness journey, is that I have recognized for myself that training, exercising, accepting the lifestyle of the fitness is to accept the possibility that I can do better. And if I aspire to do better, going to the gym, participating in the fitness lifestyle experience is a wonderful and good place to start to experience better quality life.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you.